Alright, so my Dell Precision 5540 workstation arrived today. Pretty excited about it. So I got mine with the Core i9 processor. Not much in here except the laptop. I guess there's a little Precision 5540 card that pretty much explains to you the basics of the laptop, where the power button is located, that the power button has a fingerprint sensor. It shows, interesting, it shows a webcam down here, but clearly on this model the webcam is up here, and it does show that in both positions. I'm not sure you'll be able to read this. And then over here is just some diagrams of the ports. In any case, let's leave that on. And then the other thing that came along was the warranty card. And it's shipped to you in a 100% plastics, 25% from ocean container. Or at least this part's only matches that. So I got this in the Titan Gray, and honestly this looks a bit more like a grayish silver. I was really hoping for something a lot more brushed aluminum, and I actually took a look at their little intro video for the 5540 and saw that yes, this is exactly what I should have expected. So unfortunately this is one slight disappointment color wise, but it still looks pretty sleek, and like a pretty cool device. It's 4 pounds and it's certainly heavier than what I'm used to, so though it's lighter than my previous, or the workstation laptop it's replacing. So this has kind of been my portable laptop for the previous couple years. At 1.75, 8 pounds. Certainly a big difference, less than half the weight of this guy. But what's amazing is that this is going to replace my workstation while being pretty portable. Okay. Now, in addition to the i9, I got of 8 gigs of RAM and a SATA drive. I actually ordered 32 gigs of RAM to put in. It was just much cheaper to buy the Crucial RAM aftermarket than pay Dell for the upgrade. And then same thing with the hard drive. It was much cheaper for me to just get the Samsung Evo than upgrade to Dell's class 40 or class 50 NVMe drive. And of course this is just going to do the first boot, and we're not going to necessarily go through watching me set up Windows on this guy. But this does look pretty cool. It's a pretty nice feel when open. I did notice that if you open it up here, I don't know how good a view you're going to get of that. Let me put it back. Yeah, you can maybe barely see that there are fan exhaust ports right in here. And if we flip this over, the fan intake ports are on the bottom. So it probably explains these two ridges here, which is to elevate this guy from whatever it's sitting on so that the intake ports can actually suck in air. One thing that I find really amazing is just the screen. I think Dell calls it Infinity Edge, and wow, I mean, I think I've seen some newer laptops at Best Buy that have similarly small bezels, but this is quite nice. In fact, when I think about it, with my 17-inch Dell workstation laptop that it's replacing, even though this is a 15.6-inch screen, the laptop is just such a much smaller package, in part due to the ability to trim down those screen bezels. Now, you do give up having a bigger keyboard, and of course that workstation laptop has a lot more ports on it, but I think I'm happy with better built USB-C and what that's going to give me in terms of expandability. And nowadays, all those ports and the built-in DVD drive aren't as big a deal anymore. So I am pretty happy with this, and I will, once I have the RAM installed and the NVMe installed, then I'm going to run through a series of benchmarks, both kind of the quick benchmarks looking at what the processor does when it's relatively cool, and a couple of sustained ones to see how the performance drops off when it gets too hot, and then moving on from there to undervolt, and once I find a stable undervoltage, I suppose, we'll run through the benchmarks again and take a look, see how much better it does. I got this because I was initially thinking about the Gen 2 ThinkPad P1, and prior to my last laptop, I'd been exclusively ThinkPad, IBM ThinkPad. However, for maybe the 6 years prior to that, about the 6 years prior to that. So I was hoping to go back to the ThinkPad Fold, but unfortunately, based on reading reviews of the previous generation P1, it just had so many initial quality issues, and it appears that Lenovo support isn't that great, so getting the next business day warranty would not have bought me too much. Let's skip that for now. And even reading reviews, there are still a lot of issues people are having now. Now, some of it is certainly performance related, or power dissipation related, so it'll be interesting to see how this does. But there are just other issues, and talking to the sales support at Lenovo,